Hi guys, this is Chance from Panama City Self-Defense, and it was brought to my attention the other day that some people were reviewing some of my videos or some of my teaching, and they didn't like what they saw, and I'm okay with that, because here's the thing, I don't need your validation. But the question was raised, what do you teach? And I thought, that's a fair question, and I'll be happy to answer that question. So what do I teach? I teach self-defense. I've been doing martial arts 22 years. I have there's another video on this as far as my actual qualifications. I have lots of training in lots of different things. But what I found is that unless you have a school open 5 days a week, 8 to 10 classes a day, multiple instructors, it's going to be very difficult for you to teach anything of quality more than 2 to 3 arts. And at one point in time, I tried. I had my own school, and I was trying to teach Taekwondo, Hapkido, Filipino weaponry, and MMA, and it was just too much. So I decided to streamline, and I came back to self-defense because it doesn't really matter to me what all's going out there as long as I'm teaching the average person how to protect themselves. So I teach self-defense. My students, I don't intend for them to master any one thing other than self-defense. An example would be if one of my students of 3 months was placed on the mat with a jiu-jitsu practitioner of 3 months, and they were doing solely jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu student would win every time. If I put one of my students of 3 months in the boxing ring against somebody that's been only doing boxing for 3 months, that boxer would win. But if we open it up and say there are no rules, that jiu-jitsu practitioner is going to have a hard time dealing with my students striking in addition to the grappling and all the dirty techniques I'm going to teach them. And then if my students get a hold of a makeshift weapon, that jiu-jitsu person's really in trouble. That boxer is going to have to deal with my students' kicks and grappling ability and weaponry. So again, I'm not looking to produce a master at grappling, a master at boxing, a master at kicking, a master at weapons or anything. I'm interested in producing people who can defend themselves in any situation. I teach what it's called Chuntu Musul. Chuntu is Korean for combat, and Musul is Korean for martial arts. I just am interested in self-defense, but there's a lot of people out there that as they go to study a system, they can't deal with the idea of it just being called something as simple as self-defense. So they need that kind of strange-sounding name, and so I came up with Chuntu Musul. What I'm really good at is studying an art, finding out what's crap, and trashing it. Finding out what's good, and keeping that, and putting everything into one cohesive system. And I can do my shots, I can do my sprawls, I can do my Greco-Roman takedowns, I can do my jiu-jitsu throws, I can do my punching and my kicking from one stance. I do it all from one stance. There's some things I have to eliminate or set up a little bit better to get them to happen because of that stance. But overall, I don't have to switch stances to do something. I can strike, use weapons, fire a gun, kick. I can do it all from one stance. I'm interested in realism. I typically don't edit my videos, and there's a good reason for that. It's so that you can see that nobody's perfect. And when you see a video on YouTube and the technique is flawless, well, that's good because that means that person's a really good instructor, and that's a good thing. But I like to not edit that and not make it look flawless because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And if my students see that, hey, even Chance bobbles sometimes, or they're going to be more encouraged. And the greatest reason why people quit martial arts is because they feel stupid. They feel like they're not getting it. And here's a little lesson. If you feel stupid doing it, you're doing it right. Because it's awkward and you're learning something new. So keep going. You're going to do fine. No one is perfect. You should practice your techniques perfectly because practice doesn't make perfect. Practicing perfectly makes you perfect. However, real fighting is dirty, and I want you to survive. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm interested in progress. That's a little bit about me. I hope that makes sense. And check out my other videos. If you like them, great. And if not, that's okay. Have a great day.